Dvarim Hayotzim Min Halev, message number 2. We mentioned the fact that what Hashem is showing us now is that the whole physical world, material world, is collapsed. And He's showing us that what He wants from us is what we were created for. He created us as a spiritual nation. Mamlechet Kohanim Begoy Kadosh. A kingdom of priests and a holy nation. A nation of spirituality. And all this started when Hashem gave us the Torah on Mount Sinai, 3,500 years ago. And there, we have a very special lesson that Hashem taught us through certain happenings around the giving of Torah to Am Yisrael, when we were at the mountain of Sinai. It says that there was a miracle. One of the miracles there was that what is usually heard was seen, and what is usually seen was heard. Okay, so Hashem can make miracles, and obviously that is a miracle, because what is seen, and what is heard, and here they're hearing what's seen and seeing what's heard. But why did Hashem choose specifically this miracle to show it to them at the time of the giving of the Torah? So we can explain it like this, according to the words of Rabbi Chaim Volozhiner, the Talmid of the Gro, in his Sefer Nefesh HaChaim. He says like this. He says, it's all about spirituality and physicality. Hashem wanted to uplift Klal Yisrael through Torah to levels where they would be totally connected to spirituality and totally disconnected from physicality, only to what we need. Our basic needs to keep alive and strong and healthy so that we can serve Hashem with our spirituality. So what did He teach us? He showed us this miracle, that what is usually seen was now heard, and what is usually heard was now seen. What does that mean? Let's say what is usually seen. There they are, Am Yisrael at Har Sinai, and they're looking around. They see a mountain, they see rocks and boulders, they see trees, they see hedges and grass and maybe some animals, whatever, goat, whatever. All of this they see. Usually what people see, they know immediately, because everything they know about in the world is because they see it. So they see a book, they know what the book is. They see a cup, they know what the cup is. They see a table, they know what the table is. And so on and so forth. Whatever we see, we know about. Now we don't need explanations, lengthy explanations. This book, do you know what a book is? Okay, so a book has pages, and it has a binding. And in the pages, there are words. And these words are words of Torah. On different topics. It can be a Gemara, which has the words of the Talmud. It could be a Chumash, which has the words of the Chumash, with the explanations, whatever. That's the book. What's a table? Oh, a table is made by a carpenter. It's made in order that we can put books on it, or plates and or cutlery and butlery, or we can put whatever we want to put on the table and use it, and so on and so forth. But we don't need these explanations, because we know exactly what a book is and we know exactly what the table is. On the other hand, things which are usually heard, meaning, if we say Hashem blew into us the spirit of life, our soul is godly. Nishmat Yisrael Helek Elokam Emal. It's spiritual, totally spiritual. So now, okay, what's a soul? A person can think, maybe it's like when you're cooking something and there's steam rising, maybe the soul is like a steam, or maybe it's like a mist, or something like a white sheet or cotton, or who knows what a soul is. We don't know. So we have to look up the holy books in the Zohar, in the works of the Ari, and we read and read and read, and we'll hear from the reading, and we'll get to understand what a soul is. Same thing, we say angels. So what are they? What are angels? So some people say, oh, we see in the printed books from 500 years ago, you have on the introduction page, you have pictures, and they make angels, and you see these little babies with wings. Angels are totally spiritual. They're not these silly pictures which the Goyim put on pages and we think these are angels, God forbid. Angels are totally spiritual. They have no form, no shape. So what are they? Oh, okay, we have to look up the Zohar, the writings of the Ari. They explain to us what angels are. And what about Hashem himself? Okay, that's the whole wisdom of Kabbalah is coming to teach us what is Hashem. Of course, we cannot understand his essence, but we can understand his ways and his reasons, why he created the world, what he expects from us, etc., etc. So all of these things need lengthy explanations. They are things which are heard. The concept itself on its own, we can't see it. If we can't see it, we have to hear about it, read about it. So what happened at Ma'amar Har Sinai? What is usually seen, and we all know about it, like a tree, a stone, a goat, a hill. All of a sudden, we were so distant from these physical things because we became so spiritual when we were listening to the voice of Hashem and receiving the Ten Commandments and the Torah and that holy, holy, holy atmosphere of Har Sinai, we became totally spiritual. So, like we're angels, all the way up. So now we're looking down at the mountain, at the goat, at the hedges, at the little tree, and the hill. And we say, what's that? We don't know what that is. So now we need lengthy explanations to tell us what a hill is, what a goat is, what a plant is. Because we're totally distant from physicality. On the other hand, what we usually hear about, spirituality, Hashem, angels, our soul, all sorts of spiritual entities in the world. Now we're so close to it, we see it. So we see the spirituality and we need explanations about physicality. So that's what happened at Ma'amar Har Sinai. Hashem did this miracle to show us that the Torah is going to uplift us to a very high spiritual level. And we get to that level, we're distanced from the physical world and we don't even know what it's all about. But we're very close to the spiritual world and we have great insight into understanding about spirituality. And that's what our life is about. Our life is about turning everything upside down. We're living in a physical world, our body is physical. Inside of us we have Nishmas Yisrael, which Hashem blew into us, and it's from His breath, and it's a living soul, a godly soul. Nishmat Yisrael Helek Eloka Memal. Now that by learning Torah and keeping mitzvot, we become a much holier entity, a much more spiritual, high-level entity, and we look at spirituality with knowledge and understanding, and we look at the physical world, we don't know what it's about. There are many stories from Gdolim, like Borich Ber. I mean, when he had to pay for something, he would take out lots of money from his pocket and tell the guy, I don't know what it, you say so much, I don't know what it is, take what you need. So they knew nothing about physicality, it didn't interest them. Their whole life was tuned into spirituality, and that's what Hashem expects from us, to be more spiritual. And even the physical involvements in this world, a person has a business, of course he has to be living and tuned into his business. But he must see the business as an opportunity of keeping the mitzvot of Ma'asirot, of being honest in his dealings, in giving charity, in being Mechabed Shabbat and Yom Tov, and doing Chesed and all sorts of wonderful things with the money he earns. So we turn the physical into the spiritual. That's what our lives are about.